On to the next topic. We have the Russell Westbrook trade. John Wall and a first round pick, future first round pick, traded to the Houston Rockets. When did this happen? 2 days ago, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So go ahead, since Spence, you already got that background, your famous logo, I guess, or whatever you want to call it,
Look,
your signature.
I am the voice of the people, and I will give you news, memed or not. Before I go in depth on this, I have one question for both of y'all. So, Vic,
All right.
who who won this trade to you?
Hmm. Uh, Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Russ. I used to be a big fan of Russ. Um, I think this helps out the Houston Rockets better. But again, it all depends on John Wall's health. That's the biggest concern right now because I feel like I haven't seen John Wall play in probably 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, off of that, I would probably say the Washington Wizards. But again, I'm not a big fan of Russ. Uh, he's an explosive player. He's one of the players that I know that he idolized Kobe Bryant, late Kobe Bryant, and just his mentality, how relentless he is. Just he gives 110% every play. You can't question his heart. So right now, I'll say the Washington Wizards. They won this trade, but long term, barring if John Wall can stay healthy, I would say the Houston Rockets could eventually, at some point, win the trade. It just all depends on John Wall's health.
Trey, same question.
Um, Short term, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of Russ and Bill together. That could be explosive if they can get that. If they can get some sort of chemistry together and make that work. Um, Also, we got to see, is that enough to make James Harden stay? There's no reports saying still that he doesn't want to leave just because he's
Yeah,
not trying to leave. I haven't seen anything say, "Oh, now I'm gonna stay." He said he wanted to leave. He turned down their money. So as of now, I still have to assume that he's leaving. So if he's leaving, and we don't even know if John Wall's healthy, Washington definitely won this trade. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I just that's just assumption. So I mean, I guess if you're assuming that Harden's going to be there and John Wall
yeah,
does come back healthy, if we're looking at it that way, long term, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, considering Wall's health, I think that could work, be a better dynamic than Russ and him was.
yeah,
Because you got to think the past 3 to 4 seasons, Westbrook and Harden, they both finished either 1 and 2 or reversed it
Mm-hmm.
for the league.
Yeah.
Like I said, they both are ball dominant. They both need the ball in their hands to pretty much do what they do to the best of their ability and what their how their game is set up. John
Right.
Wall doesn't necessarily need
Need that.
to have the rock as much, and I think he's a better shooter than what Russ is.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
agree.
they made it work for the most part. Harden and Russ. I mean, it is said that they are friends off the court and everything, but it doesn't always mean that just because you're friends you can work together. Just because you're friends you can play together. So they tried it. I mean, they made the playoffs. At least Westbrook got out the first round, but
Yep.
because he hadn't done that since KD left OKC. So,
Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, who knows? Maybe the Wizards can get a spot in the playoffs this year. Maybe
they
that's
spent. They spent.
Yeah.
I got one thing that I want to say. To
Sure. What's up?
me, based off of listening to what Trey just said, um, if I was the Houston Rockets, I wouldn't be opposed to trading James Harden. Because just think about the capital that you can get from
if you
from
got
Harden.
John Wall in a first for Westbrook,
Hmm.
Right.
Phew,
you're
they can get
getting
so much more.
you're getting multiple first for for Harden. And then you also got to think about it. Even though they're getting the first back, they still gave up all them picks to get Westbrook to begin with. So
What picks do they have?
I think they gave up like 3 picks to OKC or something like 4 picks. I'm sorry, 4 picks just to get Westbrook. So you haven't
Then again,
you haven't really recouped anything at this point.
yeah. So
Whole,
they'd probably have to do more players, players for James Harden type of deal, which they could probably have somewhat similar to a roster construction like the like OKC last season, where everybody just like, hey, OKC looks like they're probably gonna be a bad team, but John Wall had a great year than the previous ones that he's had before, and he basically revitalized that whole franchise to where.
You're talking about the Wizards, right?
No, I'm talking about the OKC. Remember how
Chris Paul went over there?
Chris Paul. Okay.
Yeah, when they traded away Chris. My bad. Chris Paul went to OKC. They traded away Russell Westbrook and Paul George, as Skip likes to call him, to the Clippers. And so I mean, I feel like it could be somewhat of a similar situation, but yeah, that's just my thought. I think it would be better just trading him away because I don't know. I'm not too sure Harden's going to stay.
Right now, he wants to go to the Nets. They don't want to give.
I would hate that move. I really do. I would really hate it. I don't like it at all. It doesn't sound good to me.
Go ahead.
I mean,
well, yeah. Well, gentlemen, what if I said that both of you are wrong? You know who won? You know who won this trade? Nobody. Everybody loses. This is the reason why. All right. So we got. Let's do it H-Town first. So now they got John Wall and a first round pick. So now they got 1 out of 3 they lost. Now the thing about the one they got now is protected. So no matter what, that's theirs. Whatever. So no matter what, how good or how bad the Wizards do, if the Wizards just went to complete upside down, the Rockets will have that whatever number they were supposed to have. Now, here's the problem. They got John Wall. Love John Wall. John Wall was probably before him came out. He was explosive. He was a scorer. He can able to have an offense running. Problem is that we have seen him injured more than 3 times. We haven't seen him played in 2 years.
Yeah,
we don't even know if he's actually still got it.
He's like the Derrick Rose.
Yeah, like him and Derrick Rose though, like before the Currys and the Westbrook.
Right. Those were the pre-length types of point guards.
Yeah.
So like we seen how far it took for Derrick Rose to come back. Because we didn't see Derrick Rose come back to that 50-point game in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's still not consistent. He's not MVP caliber player anymore.
He's not.
Where he can get hot, but
he's not.
You're not.
Now
you can't build a team around Derrick Rose anymore.
No.
So I don't know if people do that around Wall.
No.
If Harden stays, you don't need to. That's the thing.
Here we go.
He can be a good Robin.
Now here's the thing. I'm getting to that. So here's the thing. So now Rose is a good, 15 points kind of guy now, but he's still able to move an offense. Now here's the thing. We haven't seen John Wall play. Now here's the other thing. Harden, we don't know if he's still staying because of that. He might just say, cool, you got John Wall. Good luck. I'm still out. So you have a player that you don't know if he can be the same player that he was 2 years ago before the injury. You have a shooting guard who's you built your whole franchise around for the past 10 years is now walking on you. And now you got DeMarcus Cousins, his buddy from college. Now you think it's the whole college gang is like, oh man, we're gonna get this chemistry going. This is my bro. We playing college together. Both of y'all both of y'all mugs are injured. Both of y'all injured. Both of y'all injured prone. So if the Rockets are going to build around y'all too, they have to see a full year from y'all because they haven't seen a full year from both of y'all. So now, for me, that one's a big L for the Rockets. Now for the Wizards, cool, y'all got Russell Westbrook. That's gonna bring market because it's a bigger name than what it is. Now, who's losing out of this? Oh, I know, a guy named Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal
Yeah,
was on the cusp of just being the Wizards, just being Bradley Beal's team. Let's just be honest.
I think that
Once John Wall contract was up, either Bradley Beal was trying to bounce or Bradley Beal was finna ask for more money. You have to understand, Bradley Beal has been snubbed from the All-Star ranking for 2 years straight.
Hey,
This man scored 32 points last
market.
season.
It's the market though, but
It is. It's because of where he is.
it's a team in South Beach though that I'm hearing rumblings about.
Who's becoming super interested.
We looking at him,
And they said that they might wait till his contract ends.
We got one Bradley, we got Avery Bradley, but we looking at this other,
We look at the other one, and the other one looks really good. And he said he'll sign it. He don't have to trade. He'll wait it. He said he'll sign. And what I hear he's signing for, we can get another one. So the thing about it is that the Wizards lose this one too, because as much as I love Westbrook as athletic,
hey, look, it'll be fun on 2K. Like that'll be fun on 2K. Westbrook and Bradley,
but here's the thing: in real life, it's not going to work. Russell's not known for passing. He's not a pure point guard. He's going to try. He's going to try to drive, score. If I can't, I'll dish it out. But Bradley Beal's whole thing is that the offense run around him. That's why he was able to make so much points. So not only Bradley Beal's numbers going to deplete, now he's going to be in the back burner definitely because Russell's there, and that means Russell's going to get on the All-Star spot before you do.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to Ben have one.
To me,
the All-Star in the NBA to me is just like it's
a popularity contest.
So that doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters. You want to look,
which is sad because like all NBA players know that Bradley Beal, especially in the East, every East basketball player knows that Bradley Beal was supposed to have an All-Star spot. Every last one of them. This man scored 32 points, 48% from three for a team that's not even looking at playoffs.
And he plays defense.
And he plays good. He plays great D.
Yeah.
Vince, real quick. Vince, I know we were talking about the because that's the rumor that if the Heat get Giannis that they want Beal, would you prefer looking at it? Would you rather have Giannis come, or I think Beal probably fits the team how it's set up now.
If we're going small, then I'd rather have Beal. If not, then I won't even want Giannis. I really want a setter so we can put Bam at power forward so he can play his position.
Yeah,
I want a setter. If you're not gonna give me Embiid, give me like a Andre, somebody that still can get rebounds and still score inside. Because that's the only thing that was hurting us. Because our paint defense was hard because our tallest player is 6'9".
Yeah,
that was the only hardest thing. And then freaking AD 7 feet can go on top. So yeah.
I personally, as an outsider of I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of the Miami Heat because I definitely do like the Heat. I was definitely a big fan of Dwayne Wade when he first came out of Marquette.
Yep.
But I would definitely prefer. I mean, as much as great as it would be to get a Giannis, I think Bradley Beal would be more realistic to happen. And as y'all are both alluded to, I think this trade, even though right now it seems like Washington won the trade, I think this may ultimately push Bradley Beal out of DC to where he goes elsewhere. Because as y'all were talking about Russ, we all know he's a ball dominant player. He doesn't pass the ball like that either. So it's just I see this as going to be negative.
You guys can't say that he averaged a triple double, so he has to pass enough.
Well,
He averaged
he
triple double. Check it. He averaged triple double in 3 seasons. His whole season, his collective career, he only averaged 6.2.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying though, to get
6.2.
so look,
Yeah.
people gonna get 10 chances to possibly get the ball so that he get his
Yeah.
triple double.
hmm
We don't need that. They don't need that. Bradley don't need that. He don't need somebody that does that. He don't need that.
They signed up for star power.
That's the only thing that was good for this was, of course, it was from revenue. It was for, like you said, it's for star power. Oh, win.
There's gonna be a bunch of them 4 Wizards jerseys that get sold.
Exactly. People are gonna wear 4 Wizards jerseys now. That's the only thing, which is sad because Bradley Beal is a great player. It's just that the market was not good over there, so he won't get the recognition he needs. Watch, if he leaves, go to like somewhere like Spurs, LA, or somewhere like that.
No,
do the same thing. People are going to be like, "Oh, snap, where he is."
Hey, we're gonna talk it up now. If he leaves, he's coming to Miami. We're gonna speak it into existence.
You're right. He's going to South Beach.
I would like
he
that.
loves
I
him.
think that'd be better.
Damn, Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal.
I still want a center. Give me Andre Drummond. Somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody in that paint, man.
Even at some point before the trade deadline, I mean, maybe you can
help,
trade away some assets to get a center.
I know
that's
there's
not
people in free
being
agency.
utilized.
We need somebody, bro.
I mean, I don't. We could have went out after Dwight Howard if I know he was going to sign for the vet minimum like that, because he did
Flags.
He did a decent job for the Lakers. I think that was kind of like a little hit for y'all. Y'all lost him and JaVale McGee.
Yep. Went to the Cavs.
But they got Montrezl Harrell, so
and they got Mark, so we'll see.
Oh, and Gasol's over there, so I guess.
Yeah.
I think for everything the Lakers lost, they kind of
upgrade,
and it got better. And it's okay.
Yeah.
So you lost Rondo, but you got Schroeder, who's a younger player.
Y'all kind of balance it out.
Yeah, so it kind of was like for everything that left, got replaced. So, and if you look at it, the Lakers team is better than it was last year.
Yep, I agree.
So it's like you might have people to actually count on. Another big one was they kept Morris.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Morris.
Yes, that was key. Still got KCP.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Y'all just resigned AD.
You still even got Kuzma, which I thought y'all would have moved him, but whatever.
I think they should, but we'll see.
But where LeBron re-signed, AD re-signed, looks like you guys are good to go. I mean,
yeah, y'all look like y'all good to go.
Repeat?
Not on my watch. Not on my
possibility.
watch.
Hey.
Listen, we still got time. There's a lot of trades. There's a lot of trades and everything. We still got 2 weeks left.
For 2 more years, so I don't know.
We got 2 weeks left. They can be beat. They can be beat.
Quick question though. So let's say the Lakers go on a 3-peat, right? Does that make LeBron the GOAT now? Because to me, he's not the GOAT, but
yeah, to me.
Here's the thing. Listen. Here's the thing. I'm sick of this combo.
I am too, and I hate that we brought it up here. But
I hate that you brought it
up. Why we can't just let him have it? Not be the greatest of all time, but there's a lot of people that are the greatest of all time. John Stockton was the greatest of all time assists. Like, if he's good, he's good. But I'm not saying he's the greatest, but he's one of them.
Nobody's saying John Stockton's the greatest of all time, though. But if you talk about statistical, like as far as point guard,
I'm saying in assists.
Yeah.
In assists, John Stockton is the best of all time in that category. I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, okay, LeBron is one of the greatest of all
Okay,
time.
no,
He could be one of.
I don't even want to ask that question. Forget that question. Because for me, I don't think anything's gonna change it, anyways. But for y'all, what is there anything that he would have to do or be able to do to get that look from people who like the Jordan people? Is there anything
Give
that
give
LeBron?
give give me 17 more turnovers and you got it.
What?
17
Give
more
him 17
turnovers.
more turnovers, he got it. Do you know
He
that
can.
LeBron James has 5,724, 17 off from Karl Malone? He's number 2.
Mm.
Nobody wants to bring up that though.
Didn't know
Nobody
about
wants to
that
bring up
stat.
that stat. Yeah. Yeah, he's the greatest all time though, but don't worry, he turns that ball over too. Yeah. Nah, I'm a hater though. That's fine. listen, listen.
But look,
But all seriousness though, listen. Whatever criteria that people were trying to put on him to be the greatest of all time, just cut it. Listen, he can be one. There's different generations. He can be
no,
the
but
generation's greatest of all time.
everybody says that though. Like, but
Yeah.
there's still when people make their lists, that's where this comes from.
Listen,
Yeah.
I get it. Jordan
There's
was an
always gonna
amazing
be
player.
there's always gonna be a one. There's always gonna be a two.
Yeah, and everybody's gonna
Every,
have their
but here's the
person.
thing. Here's the thing. People are different no matter who you are. I'm different from you. You're different from me. Vic is different from both of us. So whatever he has is not going to be same of mine because we're two different people.
And
We
that's the
should,
thing that I was.
if we have the same list, bro, there's something weird, or it's just a good coincidence.
And that's where I was going to is like, I mean, like you said, basically, we as humans, we all have different opinions, different likes, different dislikes, and
Yeah,
whatnot. But at the end of the day, like they always say, if
All
that's
takes are
just
valid.
your favorite, if that's your favorite, yeah, if that's your favorite player, just say that. Like we all have our personal favorites.
No, but look. So like I don't have him as one overall. Like I still think that's Jordan. That's just me. Whatever.
I
okay.
agree,
That's cool.
and I'm a Kobe fan.
But check this out though. The reason that this list keeps going on, you can't sit here and tell me he's not in the top three at the least. LeBron's
He
there.
is.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's where it comes down to. So then it's like, what would he have to do with you being you say
Be
you
number one.
got Jordan at one, I have Jordan at one. Is there anything that he would be able to do the remainder of his career to get
To
that
be
spot?
number one.
Yes. In your opinion. I'm not asking
My,
anything else.
okay.
In your
Okay.
opinion.
All right. For me, I'm gonna make this short because for me, whatever he has to do, he don't have to do nothing. I already have my list. It's just how I feel. Is nothing towards him. There's nothing. There's
So you're
not more
saying no, there's
champions.
nothing he can
No,
do.
nothing. There's nothing in the world he can do.
Okay, that's all.
Nothing in the world.
That's my question.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Take it back. You know what he can do in order to make me to actually put him at number one? Do a slam dunk chant. Do a slam dunk.
Y'all been asking for him to do
Slam
that
dunk
for years.
competition.
He's
yeah,
not
he's
gonna
not gonna
enter
do
the
it.
slam dunk contest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why he's staying where he is on me. That's all.
Okay,
I
Moving
mean,
on.
That's all I'm asking. Okay, Vic, is there anything he could do, in your opinion, to get the top mantle as the best ever?
I
uh,
know. I know my reason's
so
stupid.
to answer the question directly, I'll say no,
Okay,
and my reasoning as to why is just to keep it short because I do this with everything that I do. It's what I've seen face to face, head to head, who he played against. The statistics, that can be misleading, as we all know. Sometimes it can tell a lot about, the story, but sometimes you have to look deeper into things. And what I seen from Michael Jordan playing against Kobe one on one, same thing with LeBron playing against Kobe one on one. Nobody, and it's my opinion, nobody can tell me that through the games that LeBron has played against Kobe head to head, and I'm not talking about if his team beat Kobe's team. I'm talking about when they faced off. You can go on YouTube,
Kobe and
you
LeBron.
can check it out, and tell me when you see LeBron consistently dominate Kobe. You probably don't even see one or two plays. Most of the highlights you see is a fast break dunk by LeBron or a layup. But when you see Kobe on LeBron, you see him putting LeBron on skates like left and right. That's how we used to like determine back in the day who was better. When you face off against that other basketball player, and what you did against that player told everybody who was a better player. That's what you got at the end of the game. That doesn't matter. It's what you do throughout that whole game is what counts in my eyes. And from what I've seen, LeBron wasn't better than Kobe, even past his prime. And we all seen what happened with Kobe and Jordan. I'm a big Kobe fan, and I will never admit this to my dad, but Jordan's better than Kobe. But again, I hope he doesn't watch this. I know he does follow the channel. I hope he doesn't watch this video in particular, but
Oh, he's gonna watch this episode.
yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
that's just my opinion.
So yeah, that's. I mean, both good points. Both good points.
Mm.
I was joking about the slam dunk thing, but other than that, no, there's nothing.
But for me though, yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do. I will say though, he's the best.
Of
He's
this
probably the best
generation.
He's probably the best all around player we've ever seen. Just
Mhm.
what he can
I
do.
agree with that.
Definitely agree with that.
I agree with
Because he can
that.
pretty much play one
Any
through
position
five,
from 1 to 5.
guard 1 through 5.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give him
I agree.
that regard.
Yep.
I agree.
To me,
Definitely.
it's kind of a little bit what Vic touched on, but not so much though. It's just that it's just a killer instinct. Because
That too.
let's be real. As dominant as LeBron is, if he wanted to go out there and score 40 points every single game,
He would.
physically is capable. He could do that. But the thing is, he only turns that on sometimes. Jordan and Kobe, you got that dog every time, no matter what. You was going to get
Yep.
everything from them. So that's the difference. So it might just be at a fault of his own because he doesn't feel like, he needs to do that all the time. And I know he does try to get his players and his teammates involved and everything like that, which
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's not a fault.
It's not. It's not.
He's not
That's
Kobe or Jordan. Like we
that that.
they're different.
Yeah.
He's more so comparable to Magic Johnson is what I always tell people. Like he's more
Always
Magic than he is either of them. But
Definitely Magic.
Magic and Scotty,
yeah,
a mixture.
you can't
Which
Yep.
you can't deny the fact that wherever he goes though, I mean, 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland. He just won one with the Lakers. And if he were to get a three-peat, he would finish with 6. Just saying, for the people who
that's
basically
Kobe.
off rings,
Yep.
just saying. But for me, like I said, to me, he can't pass him either. Yeah, he can't pass either one of them to me just because of just that killer instinct or that dog. Uh, Outside of that, though, 3, it's not bad. Top 3, that's good.
Yeah.
That is great
He,
company.
he's a phenomenal player. I mean, I love what I see from him, especially off the court. Nobody can argue anything about
No.
that.
Yeah,
But
No.
he's probably the go off
yeah,
the court first.
yeah. But and in terms of like how he set the market, how everything he's done for the community, just everything. Like he's the GOAT in terms of that. But in terms of on the court, like he's a special player. Again, everybody has their personal favorite. Your take is your take, but me personally, I go off of what I've seen head to head. And again, that's why I say Jordan's number 1, Kobe 2, LeBron 3. If we're just talking about ordering those 3 players, not just
If
the
we were
overall top 10.
if we were being real though, like I'm be honest, when they both came out of high school, I mean, and I still am. I was always I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan. Still to this date, I follow him
Yep.
everywhere he goes. So, and to me, even still now in certain situations, I feel like I like if it's the last shot, I give Carmelo. I like Carmelo over LeBron. Sorry, I don't care. Disagree, whatever.
Hey,
All right.
hey,
So
how do you
everybody know
feel
my
about this?
You already know my
Oh,
favorite.
oh.
You already know
So
my
That's
favorite.
my boy
so
too.
Spence. So Spence, what if I say this?
I
Trey,
don't know.
Yeah.
I like Wade over Carmelo.
I mean,
What you think?
I can see why. I just I don't know. Melo's just always been my favorite player, and I'm a Heat fan.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love Wade. Don't get me wrong, I love
Yeah.
Wade. But I don't know. Melo, Syracuse is Melo. Yeah, I like Melo.
Okay, so
The
let me.
only thing Melo hasn't done is win a championship. It's kind of like we were talking about Dwight Howard. That was the only thing
Right.
he have on his resume. If you look at Melo's resume outside of that, he's good. Besides,
Yeah.
Oh, oh. Also, one more thing. Um, Another thing that I take into consideration in terms of like who we're talking about, the greatest of all time. Yes, LeBron, he's able to play all these positions on offense and defense, but um, you can't say with LeBron that like saying if you put him up against Giannis that he's gonna guard him. He guards specific players. He doesn't guard just anybody at every position. Um, but again, going back to what I was originally going to talk about, I just wanted to state that real quick. Um, Kobe and Jordan, they consistently throughout their entire career played both offense and defense. LeBron, you can't so much say that. He's like at this point, especially in his career, he's more well. Even before this point, he was more so like I wouldn't say he's like Dirk, but Dirk liked to roam the backcourt. Um, LeBron likes to roam the backcourt, kind of like playing free safety in a way to say. He doesn't particularly like he can man up sometimes, but it's not consistently. He knows. I guess it's just not his strongest suit anymore. Early on in his career, he was better, but
I mean, I don't
again,
know. In the
that's
finals, you've seen after Jimmy went off, and what was that game 4? He came out.
Mhm.
He pretty much in the clutch. He made sure that he played up on Jimmy and tried to neutralize him. So I think
yeah. But
he has to do it. He feels like he has to do it.
I think he tries to preserve all of his energy for the offensive side, and he picks and chooses games of when he wants to play defense, all out defense, um, compared to other games. But again, like I said, that's another thing that I take in consideration because you seen with Jordan, Kobe, and yeah, they probably had their moments where their opponent was getting the best of them, but for the most part, even the accolades they show that defensive player of the year, um, defensive first team, all that stuff. Those accolades they kind of show how balanced those players were, referring to Kobe and Jordan. Compared to LeBron, you see more offense, but you do see that hustle plays that he has where he's notorious for those fast break blocks, things like that. So, again, that's my take, that's my opinion. So, you know, that's what I wanted to say about that. Um, Other than that, anybody else have anything else to say before we move on to the next topic?
Nah,
All right.